Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hi.
As you can see, Wayward Prodigies, we are not alone this episode.
We've got a full house. Yay! Oh, this is fantastic. So, hi everybody, welcome back to the podcast. So today we have enlisted some help from our convention friends to do an Idiot's Guide to Surviving Comic-Con. Right guys, do you want to introduce yourselves quickly?
Sure thing.
Go on then.
Oh, me? Okay. Hi, I go by Misha Amari. I stole the name from Misha Collins. I'm a cosplayer and I have many, many fandoms.
Fandom heart. No, I'm joking, I'm one as well, so.
Total fandom heart.
As you can see.
Like, hello.
Hello. Hello there. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay, and who's next?
So, Amy, the grandma of the group, the old bird, it was probably the same mental age as all you guys.
Younger.
Same, you know, little bit of just getting into my cosplay now. Not done much of it, but just getting into it. Known Caitlan the longest since 2019, I think.
18.
2018.
Or was it 19? I can't remember.
I can't actually remember.
It was
So,
last
yeah,
book stuff.
Yep. So I've got a few different con company events under my belt now, and just my group of little sisters, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so
I'm the baby. I don't like it here.
Try being nearly 40. Enjoy being a baby. It doesn't last for long.
Ironically, I'm the one dressed like it's 1942.
I know.
Yes, but you look good doing it.
Once
so,
me making a dress.
Yeah, because we're usually in our PJs. So I've decided to go Starfleet Medical for the day.
I was shopping, so I had to get dressed. Got my Ruth Connell scarf, which is on stands. I will put a link below. Get it. And the new pin. The new pin she's released. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yes.
Get it.
So we're going to be going through a few tips and tricks to get you to survive your first Comic-Con if you're new to the convention scene. Hopefully this video will help, and if you're quite seasoned but want to know a few more tips that you might not know already, stick around. So should we get straight
Never
in
eat
with the
yellow
type?
snow, that's a good tip.
What?
Never eat yellow snow.
Oh my god. Okay. Types of event. So you're probably thinking, oh, all Comic Cons are the same. They're not. So you have various different types. So you can get ones in hotels, like the Star Fury events. So that will take place in one hotel for the entire weekend. And it's a bit more of an intimate con. There's less tickets sold. And it's just more niche.
Which is a good way to do it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I actually prefer the way Star Fury do it.
Yeah,
It's been my superior con. It's been my favourite. You know, it's the best organised con and the least pressure and the least.
Yeah.
It's
also
very easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like kind of like you're going to like a family reunion, but not one that like, oh shit, I have to go meet my annoying cousin who's a perv. More so that, oh, I'm meeting family I actually like kind of thing, which suits it being a supernatural con and all with supernatural family. But it like I went alone, but like I made a bunch of friends. So and I'm not social, so I was very shocked. Even my mother was like, "Eh, you made friends?"
I thought you were very social and approachable.
Hello, we made friends within like 5 minutes, like of meeting each other. We were friends in 5 minutes, and it was my first crossroads.
Find your people.
Yeah, we find our people.
Yeah, which is easy to do when you're at like a small con, but when you're at like a big con, like MCM, like I went there alone and literally spoke to one person and they were kind of like, oh hi, bye, that's it, kind of thing. You don't, I find it's harder if you're not someone who likes approaching groups, you're not really, it's going to be a lot harder to socialize. Whereas if you're someone who is very outgoing, you're going to find it a little bit easier.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the thing is as well with sort of Star Fury, it's a very specific genre, whereas big events is a bit of everything. So
yeah,
at Crossroads, it was just supernatural people. So you already know you've got that common interest with everybody
yeah,
there.
common ground.
Yeah, you don't have to explore it too much.
Starfield
You know
needs to do
all
a Grey's
that
Anatomy
with it.
one.
You what, Caitlin?
Starfield should do a Grey's Anatomy con.
I've never watched Grey's Anatomy, you know.
I think I
don't
watched
know
you when I
it.
was little.
But yeah, I know some of the
yeah.
bigger con companies do niche events as well, because Showmasters do Destination Star Trek every year, and that is a Star Trek con. But again, it's a bigger company, so the event is always massive.
And it's less intimate.
Yeah, it's not as intimate as a Star Fury, but it's still really good fun, because you know that anyone who's there is a Trekkie. You are there for the same reason.
Yeah. I also like how it was like, for example, like I had no issue, but obviously people have issues here, there, everywhere at cons. It's bound to happen. Like if something goes missing, for example, I lost my badge. There was a designated spot. It was easy to find. I found it within maybe 5 minutes. And when I tried to get in and I realized I lost my badge, it wasn't like, oh, well, you can't come in. It was like nice, because like the people working there were also fans of the show. So like everyone's it's kind of like everyone's your friend in a way. It's like a weird, it's like a it's harmonious. That's like the best way I can describe it. It's like a whole different vibe. And I think, and I've been like I've only been to like 3 cons, and out of the 3, I went to 2 MCM and 1 Star Fury. Star Fury beats MCM way out the water.
My first ever convention was Walker Stalker 2018. I'd never been to a convention before. I had no prior experience to it. And oh my God, we went general admission the first year and we must have queued up for 3 hours just to get in.
Yeah, games management was a bit crap.
I mean,
like,
literally,
I had fun
I'm there.
Like MCM's fun. Yeah, MCM feels a bit more like a shopping, like like how I describe it to people who don't know what a con is. It's like, think of like a market, like a street market for nerds. Like it's only for nerds
with cosplay thrown into the mix.
Exactly. Yeah. So I feel like that's basically what it is. It's more kind of like shopping.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. Whereas Star Fury was more kind of experience based. Like, yes, there's experiences at MCM, but it is more kind of like sign the autograph, like wham bam, thank you, ma'am kind of thing.
Yeah, it depends on the guest as well.
Yeah, like
I was.
But it is quite rushed. I feel like
Michael Rooker's autograph line was massive. And me and my two friends were at the end because we'd had to count the line. I was looking at my tickets and someone was like, is this the line for Michael Rooker? And both of us, without looking up, said yes. Looked up and the fucking man himself is standing in front of me. And I'm like, I just drew a blank. My brain just stopped working. And then I was like, yeah, this is your line. All for you. And he went down the middle of the line and just spent so much time with everybody. He made sure that everyone had that experience.
See, if it was me, Michael Rooker's line, I'd have looked up and I'm awkward, I'd have gone, it's Mary Poppins.
Oh dear. That's why we love you, Caitlan. Only one Caitlan. So in regards to cons, does everybody just think that Star Fury just does it just so much better?
Yeah, like it's so... Like, there are rules set in place, and they are strict on those rules.
Yeah.
But, like, I get why. Like, for example, I didn't know I wasn't allowed to record, so I was recording and I got told off. But, like, it was explained to me why. And I don't know, maybe this is just because that's how I was raised, but I hate being told I can't do something without a reason.
Yeah, I'm like, well, why?
But I like like, for example, the difference between Creation Con and Star Fury. Creation Con you can film, but you have to pay for the panel, and actors are censored.
They are.
Whereas
Yeah,
you
pay
do.
for everything at
Like the
Creation.
gold panel is like, I think someone told me like my friend who went to a few Creation Cons is literally like, I think she said it was like something like, I don't know, it was over $100 to go to the J2 panel. Over $100 just to go to the panel, and they censor you. And they censor you, and you might. And if you ask a question, you might not. So, say for example, you have to submit your question beforehand, and then if you and then it comes up, and they kind of get randomized. So when you get called up, you might not be asking your question that you submitted, you might be asking someone else's, and that like try not to do that, but like that's still annoying. Whereas in Star Fury, no one knows what you're about to come out with.
Anything goes.
At Star Fury, the guests could walk behind a table the whole day. They can actually go to the green room and chill out till it's a panel or a photo.
Yeah, and Mark.
I mean, you could walk up to Misha Collins and ask what colour his boxes are. Like, there is no censoring involved.
No, I remember seeing something from Creation, and it was someone was trying to ask about Destiel, and
and Misha
you can't ask that.
And Misha told them off.
And Misha was like, "Yeah, she fucking can." So that's why I would never go to a Creation Con, because it's too expensive. $250 for a pajama party. $250.
Like, that is
ridiculous.
Stupid.
You know what I found absolutely insane about when I first started going to cons, right? So first year at Walker Stalker, the entire weekend, because I was general admission, I queued like a ridiculous amount. Come on, Caitlan.
Sorry, guys.
And I had 2 photo ops. I had Norman and JDM, and it took me that long to stand in queues and wait. I only met Chandler Riggs and Tom, and I think that was it. That was in an entire weekend, and it was insane. So the next year we went gold pass. Do you know what we paid for our gold passes for Walker Stalker?
It's like £600.
£650 each.
Fucking hell.
We just paid it. That was just for gold passes, right? And we paid it because we didn't know any better. We just thought, that's what you paid to like go to a convention, and then your photo ops like £150 each, 50 quid to take a selfie on your phone, 50, and you just because I was such a rookie, I didn't think. And then the next convention I booked was Star Fury, so. And there was people on the Crossroads page saying about how expensive it was to start. I was like, really?
Like, people want things for like dirt cheap. Like, what, do you want to spend 30 quid on a ticket? Then that's why panels have to be charged. But like, if you're gonna do really cheap tickets, then you're gonna have to charge for panels and things like that. But like the Star Fury ticket, for that price, you get autographs and everything. That is
I think it's an amazing price. I really do. If anything, I think Sean undercharges for what you get.
Like, even with general,
and I thought the autographs were gonna be like, oh hi, write the name, like love whoever, hand it back. But you get like a full-on conversation.
Yeah.
With my anxious brain, like a couple of the guests, because I didn't really know them, I was too nervous to say anything. But like with guests like Ty Olsen, I was just talking because I was getting autographs for my friend. And I was like, my friend couldn't make it, so I'm getting her an autograph.
I think I was with you. You were doing that.
Yeah. And meeting Misha, I don't know how I got 2 sentences out to that man. Because
I regret not getting a
killed me earlier in the day.
I regret it.
You know, I've met so many. I think I met 31 of the cast members of The Walking Dead, either by having a photo op or a picture myself or a free autograph that came with my gold pass, or just through walking past them, or standing in line with my friend when she did a meet and a selfie with them and I had a little chat to them. I've never lost it in front of anyone. I've been cool as a cucumber. I had JDM in absolute stitches when I met him. The only person I've lost it in was Mark Sheppard.
Yeah.
I was literally stood waiting to meet Ruth. I was waiting to do my photo op with Ruth, and I heard him, so I was like, oh my god, my Sheppard, and I went on to her and she was like, are you okay? I was like, Mark's behind there. She was like, it's only Mark. I was like, he's so gorgeous. And she was like, that Mark? I was like, yeah.
When I was getting my Alex autograph, I argued with him. So I had his headshot and I also had my photo up and I was like, which one do you want to sign? He was like, oh no, you paid for it, you choose. It's up to you. And I went to him, do I look like I can make a decision? Be the man, make a decision. And he was like, no, you do it, because he's like a sweetheart. And he was like, and I was like, no, you do it. And we went back and forth for about like maybe 5 minutes. I was like, no, you. No, you. Then when I made the joke about his mullet, he was like, well, I was alive in the 90s. And I was like, you don't bloody look like it. And just walked off.
No, it was like what I said about Rob, though. Do you remember this, Caitlan and Megan? Do you remember what I said about Rob Benedict when he walked past me?
I can't remember. It was like 6 months ago.
I stood waiting for photographs and he just walked past and I just went really like, because I'm quite a loud person. I don't really have an inside voice. Yeah. And I just went, oh, hasn't he got tiny little sparrow legs? And he just kind of turned around, looked at me, smiled and walked off. I was like, did I say that out loud?
You just said that to the Lord.
Oh, and she got tiny little sparrow legs.
Oh, okay. So
I mean, I had a good convo with Ruth at the toilets, and then I went in the men's without realising I was in the men's.
I remember that, and you came out and told me, and
I just came out of the men's. But can you imagine if it was urinals and not toilets, and I just walked past Mark or someone having a piss, and I'd be like, this in the ladies.
Me and you didn't do too well with toilets at Crossroads, because I ended up collapsed on the floor in the females, didn't I? Because by the Sunday I'd got so poorly. You two were sat out, we're waiting for your meet and greet with Ruth, weren't we? And you two were sat looking after me because I couldn't stand up.
And I was melting down. You was at this podcast
I was looking after you.
A lot.
Yeah, on Friday, see, because I'd been to MC before, I thought like all cons were like similar. So Starfury was like, oh my god, it was like Narnia. But then so I thought, because I'd heard like about supernatural cons and I didn't really know that Starfury was different from Creation. I learned that like throughout the weekend. So I was like, so I thought they would kind of like take them through back entrances and the actors and stuff like they usually do at cons. So I was talking to Kate, a different Kate. It's so weird when I try and tell these stories. I'm like, no, not that Kate, different Kate.
Is it the Caitlan we was talking to?
Okay.
Anyway, so I was talking to them and like I was just bitching about how much I hated John, and then I got on the subject of Mary. You can see where this was going. So I'm bitching about how Mary was a horrible mother. Like she went with the people who tortured her son. Like I was going off on. Do you know who I almost bumped into?
Samantha Smith.
I literally shouldered Samantha fucking Smith.
I just said that.
Yeah.
Taylor's like, hey, I guessed right.
And I didn't realise it was her. I didn't realise it was her. So like being like, I don't know if this is a British thing or just a London thing, but like if you bump into someone or someone bumps into you, your automatic response is to, and then as soon as they're like behind you, you go, fucking cunt. So I did that. I muttered cunt under my breath. And then my friend goes, oh, that was Samantha Smith. And I went, oh, but I don't think she heard me.
You better hope not.
She heard me yell, oh my God, after I realised what I'd done.
If Samantha
and then that started the weekend of me just bumping into Samantha Smith. And then 5 seconds later, oh my God. I kept thinking she was just a good Mary cosplayer.
You should have heard what Mark said to us. You know, when I had to go back for my reshoot because I cried at the first photo I had. So my first photo with Mark Millie. Have you seen it yet?
Yeah, you should all at the table.
When was that?
Literally. So I'd gone back in and he was taking mick with it. He's like, you better be happy with this one, you little cow. And I was like, have you seen the last one, Mark? It's horrendous. He was like, no, but I will go look. And then when we left on the Sundays, we were driving out of the hotel. Dion and Jake, who I took, went, hey, me, Mark says. I was like, window down. Bit straight down. I was like, bye, Mark. And he literally looked up and went, you again? And he went, bye, my new number one fan. And I went, I love you and I'm going to marry you.
See, mine came out bad, but I say the only reason it came out bad was because I was doing COVID safety rules, keeping my distance. This motherfucker decided to press his back against mine. So that's why my phone, I'm like, because like as they took the photo, he just pressed his back. He knew what he was doing. He pressed his back into mine, and I felt his back muscles, and I panicked. I almost fell on the floor again.
Didn't follow the rules.
I did not want to end up on the floor again.
It's like me and Ruth.
Sorry, Caitlin, what were you saying?
The op with me and Ruthie, we kicked our legs up. Well, we was that close, our boobs were touching.
I love your photo ops with Ruthie. Do you know what? I think Ruthie just loves you. I think she just knows what a genuinely lovely soul you are. I do think Ruth has got such a soft spot for you. I mean, she walked past us a few times and she always gave you a smile and stuff.
Yeah, she's pretty sweet.
As much as Mark loves me.
Hey, you should see the photos of me and Mark at Telford.
You stay away from him. I keep telling you.
Yeah, I see him
I'll
as an
say
older
hi
brother.
for you. If I get in first, I'll say hi.
I see him as an older brother, you know that.
We're all together at Telford, so I will mow you two down to get to him first. I don't care. I don't care. I'm driving you there and back. I get dibs on Mark.
I told you, I see him as an older brother.
I'm getting the train, so you don't need to mow me down. I'll be there first.
What is this? Game of Thrones?
Are you still driving with us, Meg?
Back, not there.
On the way back,
I'm in Birmingham, so I'd need to get a train up.
What, are you driving back from Con with us?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. Anyway, after that craziness, let's get on to tickets. Because every con, as you know about the events, each con will have different tickets. So your regular cons, like not the specialist, not the specialist cons.
I would always say when it comes to tickets, read the description on what comes with your ticket, because sometimes the cheapest ticket is the best deal, but sometimes they're the worst tickets to get. Like you will be basically treated like shit. I've really got a swearing. I'm sorry. I swear in the middle of Hamlet.
I went with.
Yeah.
What passes did we get for Telford?
Okay, this is a good one because everything.
Priority entry.
So, as Caitlin's just mentioned, there are several different types. Some of the big cons, most of the big cons will do this. You'll have general admission for the weekend and days con. You'll have priority admission, so that means you get in a little bit earlier for the days and for the weekend. You get your weekend pass. Yeah. So you got your weekend pass that will get you in for the weekend. And some cons like Destination Star Trek have 3-day admission. So that's for the Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And then you have the weekend, which is Saturday, Sunday. And then Star Fury has 2 levels. And I think other cons do this with like upgrade levels like VIP, Gold, Platinum.
Yeah.
So Star Fury has 2. So you have your general, your regular. So that gets you entry, panels, parties, opening and closing ceremonies, guaranteed autograph with all the regular guests, chance to buy photographs, chance to buy autographs.
Just 2 different levels, because I get confused when you go past 2 different levels of stuff.
Yeah.
It is.
And some of them are like packages. They come with like some, because I know some cons they have like some panels are free, some you pay for. Like I know MCM do that. So like if you get like a gold ticket, you get the paid panel free, stuff like that. That's why I say always read the description.
Yeah.
Even if you're familiar with the con, like for example, even like when I rebooked my MCM tickets for like second time, I reread it because they could change the subtlest thing.
Yeah.
And a ticket that was worth getting before could be worth nothing because they could have upgraded or downgraded.
Yeah.
And like for example, MCM have like upped their ticket prices. So like the ticket I used to get is now not worth it. It's like almost 40 quid when before it was like 28, which is it's not worth it for what you get because you don't get anything with it.
Con organisers these days are just getting greedy. Like it's supposed to be for fans, but it's more about the money. Whereas
I think a lot of them are playing catch up from COVID as well. All companies are playing catch up
because you have to make up for having to cancel a con like 2 years ago and also skipping a con a year ago.
Yeah.
We see
So they're
people like
making up for
people who
that.
go to conventions laugh at me like, oh, you spend that amount of money. I'm like, I don't go out partying. I don't drink.
Thank you.
I don't get my hair done all the time. I don't buy loads of clothes. You know, as a full-time carer for a child with autism, it's a full-time bloody job, and I only get a few hours break on a Saturday. That's it. So if I get a chance to go to a con,
you're gonna
for
take
a few days, I'm gonna bloody take it. And it's
like for me, I don't go out drinking, I don't club, I don't smoke, I don't do any of that. All I do is like cosplay, go and watch like movies when they come out, maybe go to like Forbidden Planet with some mates, but like apart from that, cons are like my biggest kind of like yearly thing.
It's my holiday.
Exactly, it is. Because for me, going to like too far away is something that's very unfamiliar, stressful, because I'm autistic and ADHD. So I find
so am I.
So
Megan's like, I'm not.
That's what I like.
Well,
so Starbury was like a big deal for me
Megan's
because
like
the first time I
parent.
was London by myself, and so it was like a huge thing. But I felt so comfortable there, and that's why like it's like I felt way more comfortable than I did at MCM, and I'm surprised by that because MCM was more familiar.
Yeah.
So it was kind of tempting to just go to MCM again, but it's nice to change it up. And I think it's worth it because it's just a better con, a better experience in general.
Are you going to Telford, Ellie? Are you doing Wales Telford takeover?
I wanted to go to Wales con so badly because of David Tennant, because I love him, but I can't afford it because the hotels, they're way too expensive.
I'm just actually, I've got a friend in Telford, so I'm staying with her. I'm dropping these guys at the hotel, and my other half's coming, and it's his.
The hotels are like £200-300.
It's 163 nights on where at.
For all of us, for the pair of us.
But you see, my mum is very overprotective. She's like, if the con hotel has to be super close to the con in order for her to let me go, kind of thing, because she's like she's convinced I'll be kidnapped, basically.
All the hotels near the con sell out like that, and we'll get into that.
They're so expensive. They are. Oh my! They want like £400.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. But ticket wise,
it really is.
Everyone has said it. Just check the description. If it's a good con organizer, they will be extremely transparent about what is included in your ticket.
If they're being sketchy at all. Also, I just want to add something about cons. If you're booking a con and you're not sure about said con, look it up. Like, do your research, because it could be a giant scam, because there are people who do say, Doctor Who con, and the con doesn't exist. Like, call the hotel.
I'm a bit sketchy about Megacon.
Is this a con here? Like, say for example, someone makes up a con called Time Lords Con. So you can call up, say, the hotel that they're saying it's at, and say, hey, do you have any cons planned for this date? The hotel will tell you. And if they say no, then you know it's a scam.
Yeah. It's like Megacon.
A lot of people take advantage.
Like Megacon, there's not much information out about it at the minute. There's like, I'm very nervous and apprehensive to buy a ticket because obviously
where's it supposed to be?
Megacon, there's one in Birmingham, there's one in Manchester, and then I think there's one in London and Dublin. But it's like there's not enough information for me to buy a ticket because I don't know if it's going to happen. Are they trying to scam us here? Because they didn't bring any guests out until last week.
See,
so you do
that to me that's
as well.
This is the size of MCM. These are the guys that used to run MCM.
Con. And don't go on their website and read like reviews and shit, because I mean, if I had the capability, I could. But like, go on Google. It's not that hard to Google the con. Google photos. Look up anything you can find on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're living in like an age with a lot of ways of finding out. If you have friends in the con circuit, you can ask them about it. And because there are a lot of people who will hear about how much money cons make and take advantage.
Yeah.
And it's disgusting, but it's unfortunately the world we live in. So
meant
always
to
do
ask,
research
actually,
on.
Have any of you guys come into York Unleashed on the 13th?
I might
I'm not
be.
sure because it's the day before my
Aw.
sister's birthday. So.
I might be.
It's the birthday on Valentine's Day.
Yep. And she's a devil
Oh,
child.
Aww.
Oh.
Yeah,
Am I
I
the only
might
one going
be.
to York Unleashed?
I'll
I might
try.
be. It's just that I've got an event the day before. So I may have to come up in the early hours of the morning if I have to, because I'm all the way down in Somerset for an event, so I don't know if I'll be able to get up
Well,
there.
you know there's a bed at my house for you. I literally live 10 minutes away from the racecourse.
Oh, good. What time does it start?
11.
Early and well, we've got the early pass ticket things because I bought my tickets prior, because with James being autistic, I don't like him being like in long sort of queues. But
Yeah.
I think everyone else starts queuing up about, I don't know, maybe about 10 o'clock or something like that.
Yeah, I think general entry is 11 for Unleashed events.
I'll have a think
See,
about it.
I'm kind of dreading Telford because it's James's first weekend. Connie's only ever been to Unleashed. So I'm a little bit like, God, is he going to hate? I'm going to have to bring like tablets and phones and power banks, you know, just to keep him plugged into stuff.
That was honestly
We're
me at
actually
my
up to
first.
that near the event, so.
Just
Yeah. So, yeah. Different tickets. Again, read the description. Just read the description.
Huge. Read about the con in general.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to go to a con, do the research, please.
the other thing you need to realise with cons is if you're going to go to a convention, especially a weekend one, you're going to come away with the three. I call it the 3 S's. You're going to come away skint.
Yep.
You're going to come away sick because you're either going to get concrud.
Concrud is so real.
Over to hell. Yeah, concrud is an actual real thing. I've never come back from a convention healthy.
I came back from Destination Star Trek. The next morning, I was mentally drained and I felt so ill.
Yeah.
It was horrendous.
Well, that's the third
as well.
thing.
I was drained.
So you
Wait, was that
was
the one that we were supposed to hang out with after, but you just so drained after it?
Because I'd done DST the one weekend and then LFCC the next, and I was just
I think another thing that people forget is burnout. Con burnout is
that's
real.
the third thing. So you've got skin, sick, and sleepy.
Yeah.
They're the 3 S's that you're going to come back from a con with.
DST, I was an attendee, so I'd done 3 days of walking around the con, holding photos, autographs, crazy fandom stuff, and I went straight to volunteering. Volunteering on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday of LFCC. Friday, I was Ben Browder's guest assistant. It was in like Guardians, Stargate, Fastgate. Saturday, I was Robert Englund's guest assistant.
I'm so jealous of that still. I'm still so jealous.
I was freaking out. I never thought I'd get the chance to GA for him, and I did. So that was
I've been
crazy.
guest assistant once and I fucked up a bit because I was at CovCon. I was helping Sophie Aldred. And she was upstairs doing photo ops, and then I went upstairs for the panel, and I left her money accidentally on the table, and I was panicking. I had a big meltdown, but luckily one of the organisers picked it up. But I kept apologising to Sophie because it was my first time. I didn't get told to pick the money up.
I'd be scared. Like, for example, like if I was doing that with like someone like Misha and he put down his wallet, I'd be scared to touch it. Like, I don't want him to think I'm a thief. Like, I'd be scared to like touch him. Like he'd be like, oh, like I'd be like handing him things like, just like take it.
Yeah. And then Sunday, I was on sales desk, and obviously that was the day that Ryan Hurst had pulled out of LFCC and went to Telford.
Oh God, that was
yeah.
The night before, I booked a photo with him. I booked a photo up, and then an hour later, I found out that he pulled out. And I'm like, I was saying I'm dreading sales tomorrow if I'm on it, and I ended up going on sales. And thankfully, they were like, right, just send anybody who's got a gripe about Ryan Hurst that way. So I was like, okay, hi guys, that way please, because there was one guy that was just so peed off with the whole thing about the vouchers, and I'm not going to go into it because he was such a dick.
The thing is, it's not so like Walker Stalker 2019, things were unraveling, people were mad. You'll remember this, guys. And the amount, because we were girls, so we were in quite early, and the amount of people in the queues who were ready to go in there and give all hell to the volunteers, I was like, you can't do that.
Yeah, and like
That was my first time volunteering.
You
like
wouldn't be able to do it. Yeah, James Fraser kept trying to push him into coming, and we're like, he can't come.
Like, and I don't blame Jeffrey at all. He's a lovely guy, and he tried to make it work. Bless him. He really did try.
The dude's only human.
I think people do, and I think that leads into. Yeah, I think that leads into another point of like people need to respect the, like, if you're going to a con, respect the volunteers. Like, even if they're getting paid, they're not getting paid a lot.
No,
you're mainly there because you love cons.
People.
And exactly, and also on a side thing, respect the actors, because I have seen people be like, oh, I want to get a Jared photo up just so I can tell him how it is, like how they can have a go at him, and it's like, no.
Yeah, it's like if I saw someone mouthing off at Ruthie, I would go
I'd go off at them.
I would punch the ass.
That's it. Right.
If you don't like that actor,
over Ruth
stay
Connell.
away from them. Like, why are you spending your money if you don't like them? If you don't like them, don't get an autograph, don't get a photo up. Just walk away. Go and do something else. If your friends are going in, fine. Go. They let them go. You go do something else. Like, why do people have to, like, it's like, oh, he's famous, I can treat him like shit.
There's also a preconceived notion that when people sort of, so like my friends Dion and Jake that I brought to Crossroads with me, they're kind of, when I first told them about the con and stuff, were like, oh yeah, we'll come and we'll have a right good long chat. I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that. I'm like, you get your photo, you leave. I'm like, yeah, got this preconceived notion that if
same as any con photos.
You get like a 5-minute chat with everyone, and it's all very. So I think some people go thinking that they're going to sit and have a cup of tea and an afternoon tea with everyone,
and then they feel entitled, like, well, I paid for this. Yeah, like, oh, I paid this. You paid for a photo. It's like, I had a quick question for Misha, and so I was like, do you mind? And so I was stumbling through my words, so it took me like longer than I wanted to like get my words out, because my autism was full front, because Misha. But like, I apologized to the person who was waiting, and they were like, it's fine. And I again, after I left, apologized again because I realized I took too long. But like, at the end of the day, I've seen people like just take so long, and it's unnecessary. Yeah, like, it's not a quick question.
Isn't it? It's common courtesy.
If there's a
really want to have a really long chat with someone, if you like Caitlan does, Caitlan books a meet and greet. Yeah. If you want to actually sit and have a then do that, you know, because the thousands of people in one day, they just don't have the time for it. So this is another thing about conventions. You're kind of going with a preconceived notion that you're gonna have all this time and stuff, but it's like, for anyone watching this who's not been to a convention, you're in, you're out. It's very quick. It's not the actors being rude.
But it also depends on the con as well. If you're going to MCM, you are in and out. Like, you have about 2 minutes. If you're going to a con like Star Fury, that is a much smaller con, then you do get a little more time, but you still don't get enough time to whip out a cuppa and sit and have a tea.
I must say, my photo ops and autographs were literally, other than with Mark, because we did the whole pose with like me grabbing his bum and stuff, the like a couple of times I actually tried to engage on the autographs, and it was like, bye. It was very.
It depends on the actor.
That was with every single autograph I had. And for me, it was a little bit, I just thought, because there was fewer people at start, I thought it would be a little bit more on the autograph side of it, but everything was kind of running behind a little bit by that stage, so maybe I just got on the backlash where they were trying to play catch up. It didn't take away from my experience, and that was how I know autographs to be. And then you get the other side, like at Walker Stalker, where people are having a selfie and we're doing an autograph, and we did get to chat to them for a little bit, but you know what, there's people back in the line and never got to meet anyone.
And also what people don't realize is those people in the line, like for example, you said about your son can't like sit in a line for long, but if he's got someone he wants to meet and all these people are taking ages, it's going to make it harder for him. People don't realize that they're being ableist in a way. And I think when you go to a con, you do have to be mindful, and you see a lot of people who are just not mindful. Like they're just not mindful. Like I see, like when I went to MCM, like if you're trying to walk, or like for example, like I wanted to sit down and eat my sandwich, and like this guy had like half his cosplay throughout the entire bench, and at cons there isn't a lot of seating. Like this guy had like one like cup of coffee and he took like a whole bench. And I get like your cosplay is big, but there's a cloakroom, and like go in like a corner and put it down or something. You have to be like, you have to put other people, you have to remember other people exist.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that is an issue as well.
Yeah, and that's where the volunteers, this is where the volunteers need to come in for the lines. If they are aware that someone has a disability, they should be fast tracked to the front.
Yeah.
I know some cons do that, fast track you to the front.
That is one thing that cons do lack, accessibility for wheelchair users and for other disabilities as well. I think that there should be like a way of knowing, like being able, like for example, maybe like when you book, especially at bigger cons, when you book, you can like book it with like an accessibility kind of lanyard you get given at the door, or a little badge that's like recognizes that someone is neurodivergent, so they can be guided away from very loud things, or be like told this panel is going to be very loud. Like I feel like there's certain things.
Do an accessibility thing, because obviously James has got autism, and I was told that I could get a carer's pass, but from what I could see on the thing, if you have a carer's pass, you can't have photo walks and stuff.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't. They're not considering that the carer or the carer per se is also there to have fun, and I think it's an issue. It really is. I think a lot of people forget that most fandoms are built on people who are neurodivergent, because neurodivergent people find comfort in it, and it just really, like, there needs to be more accessibility for it. Like for example, when I went into MCM, one thing I will say positive about MCM is I like the distinction between like the colored carpets. It made it so it was very easy for me to understand where is where, like be able to like find the person I was with the first time, because we're like, okay, we'll meet at the orange square with the beanbags. Kind of like it made it easy for someone who's neurodivergent. And also I knew to avoid, say, the blue section, because that was very loud. But I think obviously not every con can put like color coding involved, but I did like Star Fury because it was kind of like a safe space, like nothing.
Star Fury seemed to really understand that a lot of people there, because I mean, with my autism, I don't shout about it too much because I'm very my autism is a bit different to everyone else's. I just like things done a very certain way, but I can stand in lines for a long time. Yeah, I can be patient, you know. So I don't jump, you know. I just don't really do too much cons, because I don't need to. I'm just worried about. I'm a bit of a tough mum, because my son knows he's autistic. And if he's having a melt, he'll go, oh, well, I'm autistic. And I'm like, okay, you know enough to know you've got it. Don't use it as an excuse. He's not going to go through life using it as an excuse to get away with stuff. If I take him to Flamingo Land, we get passes. If the queue's half an hour long, I'll make him stand in it, because he can't just think that he's just going to jump to the front of the queue all the time. Just because it's autism. The only time I've used it is for log flume, because no one's queuing up for 4 hours to get wet. That's the only ride I've ever actually used it on. But I would have been quite comfortable to take him to Star Fury, because I know that they would have understood. I'm worried about Telford. I don't know how he's going to deal with it.
Yeah, I did like how Star Fury did have signs up, like to be respectful, to like not be too loud, and like if people were getting loud, they were told, hey, can you be a bit more quiet?
And we all had the badges.
I liked that. Because
But
when
yeah,
I first
that
walked
is-
into the con on Friday with the whole hotel thing, I almost had a meltdown straight there. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to get on a train and go home. And so my whole weekend was almost
you mean
fucked.
with the
And I
room,
was
the
like,
room thing?
I was shaking, but the staff was so nice. And I liked how quiet the con floor was. Like, it was still like chatty and people were still having fun,
ridiculously
but
loud.
it was so inclusive that I didn't feel I always had my headphones on me, because when I get overwhelmed, I find Jensen's voice very soothing, so I always listen to his music. But I didn't need it. I think I used my headphones like once in the entire weekend, which is shocking. It's absolutely shocking. But because I was so comfortable, like, it felt familiar without being familiar.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of
I felt like I was with my people. Like, I definitely came home with so many. I mean, even if I hadn't have had Dion and Jake there, it was brilliant to take them for their first ever convention. And I think because we've booked to go to it's either the London one or the Manchester one. I can't remember which one it is, but we've booked to go to one of them. And I said to them, it's going to be not like Star. I said, please don't go expecting it to be like as relaxed and flow like Star Fury did, because it'll be nothing like that. And it was, but I would have quite happily, I'll go to Star Fury. I mean, obviously I've got you guys anyway, but I would go on my own and not think twice about it, because I know we're going to come away with 100 new friends, and nobody will see anybody being on their own at Star Fury. Everyone will take you under the wing, and you know, it's such a nice fandom. It's a really nice fandom.
And it's like I would see like a t-shirt and be like, oh my god, I love your t-shirt, oh my god, I love that necklace, or someone would be like, oh, I love your cosplay, and it was just felt so great.
I'm just heading upstairs.
It kind of felt like everyone was friends.
Yeah. I'm just going to take my stuff upstairs.
Like, you were seeing a bunch of old friends, like, you don't necessarily remember, but you remember your good friends, kind of thing.
Yeah. Right, we'll take a quick 2-minute break.
Obviously,
Recorded. Sorry for that wee break, guys, but we are back.
Okay, so we're going to be going into, as we were talking about earlier, photo ops and autographs. So let's start with photos. Now, as Amy said,
be respectful to the actors.
Yeah, there is a common misconception that you will get a ton of time, but that is not true at all. You are in, you explain the pose, you do the pose, photos taken, and you are out.
Yeah.
Some poses you will not want to do.
My biggest piece of advice, and this is like pre-COVID, this is like post-COVID, have 2 like poses in mind.
Yeah.
Like, even way after COVID, because thing is, like, according to a lot of studies, COVID is gonna, like, even after it's gone, it's gonna stick around, in the sense that people are gonna like be so used to like elbow touching instead of handshaking, stuff like that. And we're raising kids in this pandemic, so they're gonna be it's gonna be ingrained into them to like keep away and stuff like that. So there may be actors even after COVID, hopefully we get after COVID, but there may be actors who are still uncomfortable with touching or taking that risk, because you don't know, or they could have multiple reasons. So always ask to do the pose, don't just like run up and do the pose.
Yeah.
And always have 2 in mind, especially if one of them includes contact.
So contact,
so have like a both friendly one and like a non, and then your like preferred one.
Also be prepared for the actor to be spontaneous.
Yes.
Oh, Matt pulled me in a hug. 1 minute.
Legit.
Yes.
Robert Englund is blooming notorious for spontaneous poses. He grabbed my hair, pulled it up in one pose. He grabbed my pigtail under his claw in the other. And the one I did with Garrett Wong at DST, I kind of had my phaser with me with this outfit, and he was like, "Oh, nice phaser." So immediately I was just like, and he was like,
"Oh,
like
people in the world."
Oh my god!
He just pulled me in a hug.
If I can get a hug off my day.
Look at him! It's so gorgeous.
I know.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
And then on the Saturday,
God help us if he watches this.
Because Ruth was supposed to be at the one, but she had to cancel. I had 2 signs. Man says, "Miss you, Ruthie. Wish you was here." And that on Max, I put ... I don't. And he put it upside down. And literally everyone was telling him it's upside down.
He's like,
he
I
was
know.
just smirking, so you knew he was doing it on purpose.
He's so sarcastic, isn't he?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
then
So good. I
He
love
had
it.
my life, honestly. Crosswords weekend, Mark had my life. He did nothing but taunt me.
Oh, he was
Oh,
ripping the shit out of me and Caitlan all weekend, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
I bumped
then-
into Mark at one point. I don't know if I told you this. I can't remember. I think it was on Sunday. So I bumped
James-
into Mark.
James Masters.
He was standing outside and I was walking past and I was like, I just stopped in my track. And I wanted to be like, oh, I loved you in Doctor Who, by the way. But that didn't come out because it's me. So I said, no.
Oh.
And so he laughed because it's Mark. And so he said, hi. And I went,
Will that show up? The bad photo of me and Mark when
Oh, hell yeah. I love
and
that.
so I basically, after like he said hi back, after I said hi the second time, I ran away. I just like ran. But here's the thing. Here's the most embarrassing part. So I got like, so you know where like, it was, right outside, and there's like a kind of a seating area that was only for the actors.
Oh yeah, I know
Yeah.
what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, so I walked past
Bingo.
there. That's where Mark was, because I think Jeffrey was like half in, half out kind of thing. So I walked past Mark, like not even to like the main door of the Hilton. Like I was still like maybe like 3 feet away, but my brain wasn't working. So I thought I was far enough away. So I called my mother and said, Mom, I just bumped into Mark Sheppard and completely embarrassed myself very loudly. And all I heard was Mark Sheppard belly laughing behind me because I'm calling my mother.
Is it even a convention if you don't embarrass yourself?
No,
At least
But the fact I called, of all people, not called my bestie to be like, I just embarrassed myself. No, I'm like, Mom, I just embarrassed.
But honestly, photo ops is such an incredible experience. Like in the lines, you meet people, like
it
amazing
is.
people.
It's so true.
I bumped
like-
into a good friend, Natalie, in the line. I
Mm.
think it was an autograph line or a photo, one of the lines. And
Like,
you just
never
talk to
be-
people.
Yeah.
Mike
Never be
Campbell
scared to
Grove.
like talk to the person you're next to in a line. Like you look at that and go, oh, it's so long. Talk to someone, even if
Like,
you're with other people.
I
Come
was
on, like get
waiting.
people to join your group. Like,
I was waiting for Kate Mulgrew, and I kind of talked to someone next to me. I was like, oh, what batch? Like we were in batches, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm batch 3, and I'm batch 4. And she was like, just come with me. Then no one's going to notice because we just started talking about Kate. And I was like, are you sure? And then she literally just grabbed my hand and yanked me forwards into her batch, and they didn't even know. So ever since that day, we are still friends.
The thing is,
oh,
when you're queuing up, that's why you spend the majority of your time. You can't really get chatting to people in panels, maybe while you're waiting for them to start, but obviously not during. So that's kind of the
queues are the best time.
Yeah.
Because like if someone's just sitting by themselves at like the bar or something, they probably maybe just coming down from meeting an actress. They're a bit like high adrenaline, or maybe they're like just trying to get like recharge their social battery. So the best place to meet people, the absolute best place, is in the lines.
On
Yeah.
Man and Megan's case, almost getting run over by one of the actors.
Oh, Ty.
I need to
I
hear
actually
this
told him
story.
that. I was doing the cameo call with Ty, and I actually told him that he nearly ran me over, and he started laughing. And he was like, pictures, or it didn't happen. And I'm like, it just so happens my friend's got it on record.
Yeah,
That
'cause,
reminds me. Were you with
was
me
brilliant.
when I yelled at Ty, Dean's mine? Like when he came out the bathroom and I just went, Dean is still mine.
No, but
I think you and Kate were upstairs, maybe. I don't know.
remember
He came
telling
out the
him.
bathroom, like he was shaking his hands, and he literally just come out the bathroom, and I just pop out of nowhere. Dean's still mine, dressed as
It's like,
Caspar.
okay,
And it's so funny because I was like looking up at him like this because
Like,
I'm small and
he's
he's
tall.
large.
No, literally, 1 minute I told him this. I was like, yeah, 1 minute I was just walking up to the bar, and the next thing I hear it, get out of the way. I turn around and I just see a mobility scooter careering out of some
Oh,
I
look
saw
like
the video
bowling
of that on
pins.
Facebook. I saw that on a video. I showed it to my mum. My mum was like, did he crash into the door? That's going to be very expensive. He's going to get kicked out
Did
the
you get
hotel.
told off?
he got told off.
Oh, we
The
did.
Hilton staff was like, can you stop, please? And we was like,
And then he
Obviously, that dude's not got some.
How mean and grumpy making him stop.
But yeah. Both
I mean, the
co-op.
Hilton staff can be a bit snotty. It's the Hilton.
Yeah.
Yeah, we keep digressing. Poor Meg's trying to keep us on track. And everyone's going, "Oh,
No, it's fine. We can put, how about we put a montage of our favourite photo ops at the end so you can see some of the different poses that we were on about contact, spontaneous.
I mean, I didn't really
that's what
pose. I
we're
just
doing.
kind of stood there awkwardly with my Alex photo, like. Because
Like-
in my defense, I forgot how to walk. I stood with like the handler being like, and then he was like, come on. like a puppy. Like, come on. It's okay. Come on. That's literally what he was like. His voice went all soft and everything, and he was like, "Come on." You could tell he was trying not to laugh. And see, I didn't just walk up. This is what I did. I will show you what I did. Shuffled towards him. I side
It's
shuffled. Like I didn't
in my
walk.
high and DJ one, I was holding my hex bag. I could not move because
They were on each side of you, weren't they?
Yeah, I was like, and then the Mark and Ruth one, they squished into me. I mean, I am complaining, but
I know.
But, like,
I wouldn't complain.
Like every fibre of me just wanted to hug him, but I didn't want to like
I wanted
boundaries.
to hug Ruth so
Oh,
bad.
that's why
when
I
she
was
was
scared
ill.
to move.
Oh
on
yeah,
Sunday,
you
Ruth
felt
had-
so bad for her,
Ruth
didn't
had
you?
laryngitis, bless her, and I
Oh,
said
yeah.
this in a previous episode. You could tell she wasn't well. I just wanted to jump over the table and hug her.
Give her a hug and
She did
Aw.
so well because she was so poorly, and you know what? I think Misha did so well because you could just tell everything he had going on. He just really.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
And
think
that's
he was
another
on
thing.
sort of half there. if
There
that
were a
makes-
couple of people who were like complaining like, oh, like Misha's a waste of money. He's like not very talkative. Like maybe he just doesn't like being in the UK. I had some people talking like, oh, he's always nice in the American cons.
jet
The
lag.
guy is tired. And like people are
Jet
complaining
lag.
about him being like one of the
Yeah, but
strictest
he's
when it
also
came to
going through a
COVID rules.
He was trying
separation.
to have with me.
Exactly, he's going through a separation. He even said at a panel he's seeing his kids the next weekend, so he can't afford to catch COVID. He's filming road food and he's traveling with that. If he gets
And
COVID, he's fucked.
Time difference, jet lag is a real thing.
Exactly. Not only that, like he's like, we don't know if he's got any underlying health conditions he's decided not to disclose.
Yeah.
So it's fair
And he's
enough.
human. He's bloody human.
Exactly.
And he wants
And
the
like people were
boundaries.
saying, people were
Respect
saying,
it.
oh, on Sunday he's just like really tired, and that isn't his fault. He's human, as you say. Like he literally got off a plane, walked
Bloody hell,
in,
Sunday, I was
had
half
me
dead. You
scream at
haven't
him.
flown from America.
Yeah, I literally like I
Oh,
was so
that's-
apologetic. Like when it was my turn, I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like you know when, well, you're a mother, you'd know when like a kid's like done something and you're like, right, that was very bad. And they go, I'm sorry. That was me to Misha. And he went from like his normal to like, it's okay, like a very soft like fatherly voice, which made me almost cry, to be completely honest.
And that's the beauty of autographs. You can get that little bit more time. Like I was like the early cons. My first con was Collectomania back in 2017, and I was meeting John Barrowman. I didn't say a word. I was so nervous. I didn't say a word. Fast forward to the next cons, I was like in the lines for DST, and I was like, right, I'm about to meet Kate Mulgrew. What am I going to say to my captain? I was like, right, rehearsing. She had to leave early, so I literally just got it out, saying that she was an inspiration and that she's my favourite captain and changed my life. And she looked up at me and said she was sincerely thankful, and I just was like, melt.
See, with each person I met, I tried to say something like, oh, I loved you in this, and like you're a huge inspiration and shit like that. But I always tried to like say, I think one of the only ones I didn't say it to was Keith, because I don't think I've seen him in anything else apart from Supernatural. But other like actors who I've seen in other things, I was like, oh, I loved you in this show.
Well.
Because like I said it to Alex, and he went from like his normal smile to he was like grinning when I was like, I loved you in Arrow. And I was telling him like I didn't recognize him at first. I was like,
I know.
I literally said to Alexander
He's been in
Calvert,
that
I
Good
looked
Boys
at him.
as well. He's in a film called Good Boys.
I looked this man dead in the face and said, you know, when I saw you Supernatural, I was like, I've seen this bastard somewhere.
Yeah.
I called him a bastard to his face. I said, I swear I've seen this bastard somewhere. And he chuckled at that. And he said, oh, yeah? And I went, yeah, you were that arson psychopath in Arrow.
I didn't know
it was very hot, you know.
Either. I didn't realise it was him either, but yeah. I always try and make it about something other than
Alex, it was very hot, you know.
Yeah.
I had like no filter around Alex.
No.
Like
it's
no filter.
I have no filter, period.
No, it's like if I'm at a Star Trek
I kind of feel like the only person I would get who I would be truly sort of like my unfiltered self, if you ever put me and Miriam Margolyes in the same room together, that would be absolute. My mum actually, her nickname for me was Mini Miriam, because she's like, you're just like a mini Miriam Margolyes, like the stuff you come out with, like she's like, you just don't care. I feel like me and her would just be absolute carnage together.
Yeah.
And I'm determined.
I mean, as someone who's friends with Miriam, yeah.
See, the thing is, if I ever do get a Misha photo up, I'm debating between using my chosen name and my real name, because all my other autographs are in my real name. But like, just imagine the power move that would be like, just to hand him something to sign and be like,
it's Misha.
Make it out to Misha. And he'd be like, you're the girl who stole my name. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. I always.
What are you going to do about it, old man?
Like, when I get stuff signed, I'm always a bag of nerves. Because obviously, if you've waited ages, it's like you're about to meet someone that you really look up to.
Yeah, I think
you can be 2-3 hours long, and I know some cons do virtual queue ticket system. So you get a virtual queue, and as soon as your number's on the board, you rejoin the queue as if you'd been in it.
I do think though it would be like my advice to anyone who's meeting an actor, especially for the first time, meet your like favorite last. Because I met Misha first, and it like my brain just fried for the entire weekend.
Yeah.
Like the first actor I've ever met, well, I've met other actors, but like the one I really like cared about, and that's not so rude, but like, you know what I mean, like someone was like, I'm an actress, I was in one episode of EastEnders, oh cool, those kind of people, but nothing like, no one I actually looked up to. So like meeting Misha for the first time, and for him to look at me, I just did not function. My brain said goodbye.
The first person I ever met was Norman Reed. No, Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Oh my God, I would die if I met Jeffrey Dean Morgan. If he's at Crossroads 4, I'm going to die. I will literally die of a heart attack.
Well, if I found out he's at Crossroads, I will be texting his niece saying, make him bring you. Make him fucking bring you.
Yeah, and then you can introduce me. I could be like, hi.
Here's my issue. I would have to keep my mouth shut about John Winchester, because knowing my luck, I'd be bitching about John Winchester, how much of a terrible father he is. And then Jeffrey Dean Morgan would be like, really?
To be fair, he'd probably agree with you.
Yeah. I'd be like, I love you. But I think this would be me at a Q&A with him. Like, I'd be like, I've heard you are amazing. You are a lovely guy and all. But when I see your face, I have serious daddy issues. So when I see your face, I want to punch it because I love Dean. But I won't punch you. I promise. Don't. No one arrest me. I'm not
sure you could reach him. He's incredibly tall.
Oh, there's ways you can get down to your level. Believe me. Something about knee height that we can use.
As someone who he's had me in a bear hug. And I'm 5'7", and I had to like look.
I'm 5'2". I would be so tiny. He'd have to pick me up.
Shorty. Hear me out. If I ever meet Jared, I know what I'm gonna do. If I ever meet Jared, I'm walking in with like, you know, those fold out stools.
And standing up there.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna stand on that, and then I'm just gonna.
I almost fall off one of those, so that's enough for me.
I want to make sure I'll be taller than him when I stand on the stool. I'll make sure, like, I'll wear heels and a stool, and then like just tap the top of his head, like, "Hi, shorty." Or if I got a Jared and Misha up, I would have Misha stand on the stool so Misha could feel tall.
Oh, I love that. But no,
I couldn't make the comparison at Crossroads because it's like the other side of the car, so I didn't get
how tall.
Close enough. Yeah, so I didn't get that comparison.
I could tell when I was walked up to the car, I was like, yeah, this man is tall. Even though he was like sitting on the Impala, I was like, yeah, this man is tall.
Yeah, like, yeah.
I've
You
met
should be
JDM and Ryan
surprisingly
Hurst,
tall.
and after that, it's like, I mean, they're giants. You
Yeah.
don't get many.
Jeffrey
taller.
isn't he like 6'4"? Something like that.
Yeah, he's about
He's
10 years
6'5".
Adam, and I think Ryan Hurst's about 6'7".
According
I
to
could-
Jen, he keeps growing to be 6'5" now.
He would literally be towering above me because I am 5'2", so I'm a midge.
You could ask him to pick you up.
Yeah, I just be like, can I have a big bear hug when you pick me up, please? That'd be lovely.
Just like squeeze me. I don't care if I die, I'll die happy.
Please. I'll die in a fandom squishy hug and I'll be happy. Oh, gosh. Right.
The thing is, though, his handler would say no.
That's why
but
Jeffrey
he
came
would say
on.
yes.
You know he's tall.
I'm 5'7", and
Yeah.
Poppy is, I think Poppy's 5'1", 5'2".
So on the same
Oh.
height.
But if you think he's bloody tall,
Look at Ryan
Then-
Hurst.
literally, where's Ryan?
Oh
That's me
my
next to
lord.
I just came up to
Yeah.
his shoulder.
Gentle
I
giant.
don't. I can't get it on. David,
Yeah,
he's trying not to
okay.
laugh with what I've said.
Oh yeah.
He's like trying really hard not to laugh. But I literally only came up to his shoulder.
I'll probably just
And
come to his
Poppy-
waist. I'm that short.
Poppy had high heels on as well, and that's why she looked a bit taller on that one. She decided she needed high heels.
Oh god, yeah. Right. What's in everybody's convention kit bag? Like the things that you
Water.
never leave the house
Throat
without.
lozenges. Throat lozenges are the most important thing.
Yes.
Paracetamol.
Yeah. Any
Um,
any of your regular medications, for the love of God, don't forget your regular meds.
Yeah.
Yes, 110%.
Snacks is con food
Snacks.
is really expensive.
Nah.
Yeah, snacks.
Do you know what?
mean-
I didn't think the street food was a bad price in the hall. Like the little street food thing that they had at Crossroads.
I didn't
thought it was
like it,
really
it wasn't
reasonable. Oh, I loved it. Everything I
I
had
never
from
went
there,
in
I
there.
really liked. It was good.
I think
It
the other
was
thing
like-
I liked was the Domino's
jacket
pizza.
Oh no, I hate Domino's. We did like jacket potatoes,
Ooh.
hot dogs, beef burgers, and it was
You
about.
see, the hot dog I had, it wasn't an actual hot dog, it was just a sausage, and I'm like, a sausage, a hot dog is supposed to be a bratwurst.
You
or
see,
Frankfurter.
I think I got a big Aberdeen Angus burger, a decent portion of chips, and a drink for something like $6.50.
That's
Which
good.
I
I
mean,
didn't
I'll
think
get
it
the
was
burger next time because I love my meat. But
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
got that
That
pepperoni
is
pizza.
at
Yeah,
McDonald's.
that one very
Yeah,
nice.
we ordered.
Yeah.
I think we ordered a Domino's because the pizza from the Hilton was okay. But yeah,
It
like
was
every
brilliant.
con will be different because like the NEC or
Yeah.
EXL or whatever venue you're at will have vendors.
Yeah,
The
I
price
always
is
say
always
bring
sky high.
paracetamol or bring any
But,
pain
like,
medication that like is good.
You know you'll need.
That you can like
Another-
if you're
another thing-
paracetamol, bring something else, but always bring paracetamol because
Or ibuprofen or any other pain meds
Yeah.
that you know will work.
Power bank for your phone.
Yeah,
'cause you're
and
gonna
cable.
need
Yeah.
that cable
yes,
stack.
110% power
Power
bank.
bank.
And also bring if you have any kind of hay fever, bring that. Headphones, if you need, like, I just recommend them for everyone because you never know, even if you're not neurodivergent, you can still get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So headphones are always great. I like mints because they calm my anxiety, like having something that kind of
Like,
distracts
nice
me.
for me to I feel sick, it helped, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
it mints your stomach, doesn't it?
Yeah, mobility aids, like if you
Yeah.
need mobility aids, like crutches,
Yeah.
like wheelchair, walking stick,
Mobility
anything
I
like
think
that,
I'm
don't
going to
forget
take
it.
a little fold out step stool to
Yeah, well,
Telford for James.
Yeah.
You know, if James just needs to just sit and have his ear defenders
Or
on and
even a
decompress.
small deck chair,
Yeah.
a fold-up camp
Yeah.
chair.
Deck chair.
Yeah, I'm
I
just going to
would
bring
also-
something that if we're in lines, I can just sit him down.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend bringing like sandwiches because they will get nasty.
Yeah.
No, you
But
just
bring
need like
like a
granola
snack.
bars and
I mean,
yeah,
it's
like
healthy.
something like if
Like
you're, because
bread.
again, you might be diabetic, and even if you're not, your sugars can still drop. Like with
And
meeting
And
like
healthy
your
because
friends in the
you're
world,
shaking the bones.
you're gonna get adrenaline, which means your sugars are gonna heighten or lower. So when
Yeah.
you're coming down from that, you're gonna need something to ground you. So bring something, either like a chocolate bar, and bring something that's kind of gonna like level out kind of thing. Like I would
I
recommend like
bring a
bar
bit
or
of
something.
extra as well. So if I get talking to him like, oh God, I'm so hungry, I'm like, here, have, you know.
Yeah, bring
you
like
never know.
2-3.
You might find somebody in a diabetic crisis that needs something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just someone
I mean,
who's
it's
fed
also
up
to
with
hand
a little
out
bit
drinks
of
in the
meal.
Also,
First aid
especially
kit.
if you're a cosplayer, especially if you're a cosplayer, for the love of God, I learned this. Okay, here's the story time. So my first cosplay was Supergirl, and I was obsessed with these red boots I had. They weren't like knee highs, but they were like ankle boots. I got them out of Primark. They were super comfy, but I'd worn them so much that they were very worn in. And I went out and got red trainers so I could swap into them. Decided not to take the red trainers. And when like halfway through the day, I was crying in pain, and sorry to be gory, but my feet were bleeding.
Blisters.
Like, I had lost skin. It was disgusting. And I could not walk for about 3 days. I could not walk for 3 days after one day at con. So if you're a cosplayer, for the love of God, bring shoes. I do not care if it ruins the aesthetic. Bring trainers. Buy like a pair of comfy shoes, like comfy trainers that are like neutral, so like black or like beige or grey, because they can go with any cosplay then.
Yeah. First aid
But
kit.
no one cares.
Even if it's a small
You're wearing
first aid kit. Yeah, small
Like,
first aid
always
kit.
bring a change of shoes. Like for a
Oh,
Xerophile,
yeah.
I wear like these like 40s kind of heels, but I bring trainers if I am going out in this cosplay, because I will be in pain because they are heels.
I regret wearing boots at Crossroads, but I also tend to bring like a little first aid kit, like with plasters or little bits of
Yeah,
pieces.
always bring a little first aid kit,
Your bank
always.
card.
And bring more than you'll need. So if you think you only need like 5 plasters, bring 10.
Yeah.
Because one,
Yeah,
you
but
may
it's
need more than
true
you think,
if
and you
you're allergic.
might need to be able to help someone. Also, if you're a cosplayer, bring a mini sewing kit.
Yes, cosplay repair kit.
What did you say,
Bank card.
Caitlin? You just said
Bring-
something.
Yeah, you said about plasters. You're screwed, like me, if you're allergic.
Something that
You can
allergy
you can get like special kind of plasters.
Well, I'm
Depends what you're
allergic to the
allergic to.
stickers.
Well,
Okay,
you can get like
gauze.
those bandages with
I have
like
like
medical
gauze and a
tape.
bandage just for allergens.
Yeah.
Bank card.
Oh.
For the love of God, don't forget your bank card. Even if it's
Yeah.
on your phone, don't forget it. Cash, your ID. You never know when you're going to need it. And ladies,
Hard batch folder
yeah,
to
ladies,
put your photo
an
your
emergency
autographs
kit.
and thing.
An
And
emergency
also-
kit, ladies. Come on.
Also, always, I know like you're going to want to spend all your money, but always, even if you take it out of your wallet and hide it in a little secret place in your bag, take a little bit out, like maybe like 20 quid or something, out of your wallet and put it aside. So if you need to get home, if there's a creep following you around the corner, you need to get home safely in a cab, you can afford it then. Always keep some money aside for that, especially
Definitely.
if you're female presenting and you're a cosplayer, because there are creeps.
Yes.
A lot of creeps.
Yeah.
And I learned that one the hard way. I cosplayed Demon Dean and I was walking through Hyde Park, and this guy was like, "Oh, you look so cute," and he like was really creepy. I was sobbing. I was so scared. I thought I was gonna die. I genuinely thought I was gonna die, and my first thing was to pray to Misha. That was my first instinct.
Yeah.
But it worked. I didn't die. So
Yeah. Another one for the ladies, an emergency kit, because our cycles know no bounds. That it could just switch.
I
at the turn of a
always
button.
bulk up, just in case somebody needs.
Yeah. And you may not need it.
UK
Someone else
law.
will.
See, the UK law states that you cannot use anything as a weapon. Like, even if I hit
Get a
a guy
rape
with this
alarm.
who came in my house and he died, I would be arrested.
There's UK safety chains you can carry now that have got deterrent spray and stuff on them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've always
but if
got
you
a personal alarm on me.
anything that's classed as a
Yeah,
weapon
take a rape alarm,
is
because then
illegal, you
someone's
will
too
still be
close, just
questioned on
pull
it.
it in a run.
But here's my thing. Yes, a safety alarm, but also I'm not saying you should, but female presenting people carry deodorant, not only because you stank, because everyone stinks after a con, but it will hurt. It will also criminal spray.
Because then it'll go up.
If a creep is following around a con,
That's what the
spray him with
deterrent spray
it
is,
will
to
make the
show
security easier to find him.
Definitely.
Oh, what
And
else?
like I was
What
saying,
else?
take yourself a folder thing to put your photo ops and
Yeah.
stuff in, so we're not going to crease.
Take a hard thing. Like,
Yeah.
don't take like those bendy folders. Like,
It'll fall out.
No,
not
you
only
get one
that,
that
but like
it's
these
in there,
bendy
but
ones,
ones
this
with
ain't gonna
handles
protect
on that
your
have.
photo op as well as you want it to. This is gonna bend. I saw
Mm.
people at Starfield with them, the like hard shell ones, and they don't take a lot of space, but they're worth having because then your photo ops will be nice and crisp.
Well, they're usually
Another
about
thing-
A4 sized, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say get A3 just in case.
Yeah.
you
You
had
can
like
put tickets in
anything.
there as well, like posters, tickets, merch,
Yeah.
anything like that.
Not only that, one thing that I never thought about before, but it could really help, rubber bands. If you're like me and like getting posters, then you can just roll it up because
Oh, yeah.
a lot of sellers run out of these things. So you can just use your own. They're not expensive.
Hair ties.
These will help you.
Hair ties are another one. 'cause
Hair
you can
ties.
Use them
Hair
to write
ties.
posters.
If you're wearing
Um,
makeup, bring the basic necessities like your concealer, a sponge, brushes, a little palette. Just basically bring a mini makeup kit because you
Yeah.
never know what's going to happen at a con where you may need to fix your makeup.
You could be crying your
Um,
eyes out after meeting a celeb, and you look at mess, and you got
You
another
could be
photo op in
sweaty.
5 minutes, so you're like,
Um,
fix it.
yeah,
Extra
and like
Because I don't know about you,
Yeah.
but I catch my tights on everything, and then I get a massive ladder, and I'm like,
yeah.
not again.
Honestly, for that, get the Marks and Spencer's warm in the winter, cold in the summer tights. They do not ladder as much. They are very good.
Yeah, but
I've
always
had
bring
those
an
since high
extra.
school.
Snag tights
yeah,
are good as
always-
well.
Yeah,
A coat
but
as well if it's cold, like something to
Yeah.
put over you if it's cold, and you can leave it in the cloakroom
Yeah.
if you need to.
I was going to say, generally,
and
then
also
you
make use of the cloakroom. Like if you, especially if you're a cosplayer, if you find out if they have a cloakroom and if you have to pre-book a spot, because sometimes you do, or if it's only for gold tickets, find out because it will help you in the long run. If you if you have to book it, you book it. That way, for a cosplayer, you can keep your extra shoes in there, anything you buy, and it won't be ruining your cosplay.
Yeah.
Another top tip I've got, if you're staying somewhere like the Hilton, take your own booze because it's bloody expensive to get drunk there.
Oh yes, it was like how
Yeah,
much
I
was
know
it for
that.
2 double whiskies? Was it like 18 quid for 2 double
Yeah,
whiskies?
and then you got Yumi's high Sambuca each. It was like £5 each.
I know.
I
Yeah.
decided I wasn't drinking at Crossroads when I found out how expensive the drinks were. I was like, I'd rather get an extra couple of photo ops.
Yeah, either that or
Mhm.
like if you're at the Hilton in Birmingham, there's Resorts World like a 5-minute walk away, and there's like restaurants there, and the booze will probably be a lot cheaper there.
Mhm.
To be honest.
Yeah, we went to
I think
Pizza Express.
You see, I like staying in one place because my autism. I don't want to be going here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah,
it's planned and you know that you've got a booking.
So it wasn't, because I didn't stay in the Hilton. I stayed in that crappy, horrible little hotel by the airport.
Mm.
So for me to get there, literally, I had to come out of the hotel, take a left, go through the airport on the monorail across it. But it was like a 10-minute job.
Yeah.
It was no bother to
Right.
do it. I wouldn't stay in that hotel again because I
Yeah.
swear that's why I got sick. I wouldn't kennel dogs in that place. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
I'll never stay there again. But
I also
definitely-
think, well, on the topic of alcohol, I do think that, yeah, it's okay to have like fun and party, but if you have photo ops the next day, remember that because you're obviously not going to want to be hungover meeting David fucking Tennant. Like,
No.
be like, oh, hello,
Well,
David.
it's
Can you be a bit
I'm
more
not
quiet?
a
You're not-
hungover event. I don't
Yeah.
like being hungover at conventions, so I don't generally drink at
And
them.
also, like, drink responsibly. Like, if you know
Yeah.
you're a flirty drinker, then drink,
Don't
especially
drink
if you're a
too much.
drinker, or like you like to hit on women or whatever when you drink.
Like if you're a giggly
When
drinker, it's fine.
if you like
Laughing
to
your
if
ass
you
off.
like to, then because you're gonna make everyone uncomfortable. Like you're gonna have cosplayers trying to do a bit of karaoke, and you got this like old sleazy guy just being like, "Oh, hello, lady, nice tits." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I
that's
got
why
a lot
I
of
like to
that
bend my
on the
characters.
Saturday, on the
because
Friday night, I got a lot of that.
Oh yeah.
I like it
Okay.
on the Sunday. All the guests was going back to their hotel, and me and Megan was talking about ordering pizza.
And
Julian
then
Riching
Julian walks
stood
out.
right in front of us, and Megan was like, "Oh, shall we get pepperoni?" And I went, "You're talking about ordering pizza," while Julian stood right fucking there. He was pissing himself.
Oh, Julian was amazing. I told him
He's
I was
actually such a cool dude, isn't he?
He's lovely.
He's just so cool.
I
love
said
him.
to him, I said, like, I just wanted to let you know that you are the reason my mother was worried about my mental health. And he goes, oh no, why? And I go, well, because I walked in the living room and just said, I love death. Because I didn't give her
really bad.
context.
No context.
I like
bad.
him on Percy
like, I
Jackson,
said-
even as a small role. On
and I
Percy
said, like-
Jackson, he's the gatekeeper to the underworld, and he's just.
And I
brilliant.
said, like, and it didn't help, like, her thought on my mental health didn't help when I was walking around the house singing "Oh Death," like all these things, like, and he was laughing. I made him laugh. I can proudly say I made everyone I met laugh, even when I almost I almost like knocked over Ruth.
Oh dear.
You did what now?
It was an accident because I wasn't wearing my
Sorry.
glasses.
I mean, I
wasn't
got to
wearing
say bye to Ruth. I just wanted to,
wearing my
like, she
glasses,
had the
she was
whiskey glass
like-
off the wee witches.
She was leaving to like have a break, like a 5-minute break, and so I was like crossing the room, and then I didn't see her because no glasses. So like I almost walked like I was coming this way, she was coming this way, and I almost went right into her. So I stopped. I was like, I'm so sorry.
It's all right. I accidentally.
And she was like, oh, that's fine. And I went, hi. And she went, oh, hi. And like, because I was like, hi. Like, I just squeaked at her. Like, I was going through male puberty, apparently. Because I kept squeaking at people. I kept having voice cracks.
Yeah, it's like in one of the photo ops with Ruth, I was walking a bit too quick, and I bumped into her and went, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And she went, oh, it's all right. Like, I can walk.
You know the lights they had for the photo ops?
Oh, I thought I blinked every single time.
So do you know,
blinked.
you know how they had like a certain way you exit the photo ops?
Yeah.
Like most photo ops had like an exit and like an enter and then an exit. So like you go through like that. Well, I thought Ruth's was the same. So when I entered, I did the photo op. Then I thought you just had to step over the wires. I almost tripped over the wires, almost brought down the light, and I exited through the not exit. It was just a gap. And they went, oh, this way's the exit, and I went the opposite direction, and then I just hear Ruth go, oh, okay. Just like, okay.
Speaking of photos, print your ticket.
Like,
Print your
Yeah.
tickets.
Print your ticket.
Every single one of them, and maybe have 2 copies if you're clumsy, you know you're going to lose them, and have backups on your phone.
Also, screenshot it from your email and save it in like a special folder on your phone. I always do that with any ticket online because my printer doesn't work. But if you really can't print it, screenshot it multiple times. You will lose that screenshot.
Send it to a friend
Especially
that's
if you
going to the
print
con,
audio.
send it to your parents, send it to anybody.
Yeah,
you can find
so they
it.
have access to it. Not only that, let people know which con you're going to, what your hotel is, especially if it's not a con attached to a hotel, and also every night it's good to have someone to contact that's outside of
let
the
the
con.
loved one
Just
know you're alright.
just like text like a friend who's not at the con, like, hey, safe at my hotel.
Yeah.
The reason, especially if you're female presenting, or even like any part of LGBTQ plus, because the simple reason I say that is for safety, because like at cons shit can happen.
To be fair though, there's every opportunity like a guy could, like, so especially someone in cosplay, a guy could be equally at risk as a woman is.
Oh yeah.
That is
as
true.
well.
That is true. But I
Especially
think
in cosplay,
like
might come
it's
across
good in
as being
general just to have like someone outside of the con you can just text and let them know like you've left your hotel, you're at the con, and you've got home. Like just a quick little text, and that way if you suddenly on Saturday night don't text them, then they know to be worried.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah,
That way it's like a safety measure, because there are like from like back in the day, because it's not as common now because of security, but back in the day, like people would go missing at cons.
Yeah.
Like people go to a con and never seen again, and they don't show up their photo ops, like no one knows what happens to them. And if you have someone that you can contact then outside the con, and the reason I say outside the con is because if they're with you, then it's like the same thing can happen to them. They could both go missing. So it's good to always have someone outside the con who you can contact just to say, hey, I'm safe. this and that.
It's like
You know,
when I'm
it's just-
travelling on my own, my mum drops me off at the train station. And
Yeah.
if there's multiple thingies, I tell my mum, I'll text you when I'm on the next train. Or if my phone's going to die, I will text you when I can. And like I told her, because before Telford, I'll be staying at Amy's the night before. I told my mum that I will text her when I've been picked up. And when we're travelling, I'll text her like every so often as well. So my mum knows that I'm with someone responsible.
You and me. I'm
we're
not sure I say responsible. But it's okay. Adam's will be fine.
This is the dude who doesn't like Supernatural, dude. This is the dude that doesn't like Supernatural, and you trust him.
Oh yeah, I could just see us watching Supernatural the night before the con, just like binging it.
Like a watch party.
Night before the con, you and me are off to bingo.
Oh shit, yeah.
I want Friday night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Megan's never
Oh,
been,
you old
so-
ladies.
Hey.
Bingo is amazing. I will have you
Old
know,
ladies.
all the young
I do want to go bingo
people
though,
now.
but I would go dressed like this because I want to fit in. So I'd just be like a little old lady.
Oh, I was gonna go with Crowley.
It's mostly young people that go now.
It
I
is
was
though.
gonna go with Crowley.
Hear me out. Wait, no, I won't say it because Megan isn't caught up on Supernatural, so I can't. It's a spoiler. I almost spoiled it.
Yeah, don't do that. We was doing a Supernatural episode
No
last week.
spoilers, no spoilers, because anyone
No
watching
spoilers.
this- anyone
I
watching
always
this on
forget.
YouTube might not
I
have seen them either.
keep sending Megan like videos. I'm like, wait, don't watch that.
And it's like season
It's like
13,
so
episode
having
9, and
everyone
I'm like, dude, I'm not even
I'm
on
just
season
going
10
to
yet.
suggest, but don't watch it.
I keep forgetting that Megan hasn't watched it because everyone else I know has watched it. So it's like I'm used to just being like able to send it without worrying about spoilers, and now I'm like,
keep you
I
updated on what
watched the
episode I'm
last
on.
episode of Supernatural the day before Crossroads because I hadn't caught up with it. So what I did was
That is a
I
bad
watched
idea.
up to, I know, but I watched up to season 12 and season 15 was just coming out. I thought I'm going to wait till it comes out on DVD and then I'll watch the last 3 seasons. Then I left the idiot X, didn't I? And then I moved in here and I didn't have a TV or a DVD player or nothing for months. So then by the time I'd actually got the DVD player and stuff to watch it on, I literally rewatched every single episode of Supernatural and then watched the last 3 seasons. I did seasons 13, 14 and 15 in the week before Crossroads. I literally watched the last episode the day before and Dion and Jake watched it, I think, about an hour before we left for Crossroads.
Imagine watching I'm not spoiling it. All I'm just saying is imagine watching 15, 18 and then seeing Misha Collins. No, I would have burst into tears. I'm not telling you why, I'm just saying. But funny you
I've only
mention
watched
that they
it once,
spoiled it in the
Megan, so
panel.
I have 2 rewatches. I have one that I watch weekly with like a bunch of like Supernatural friends on this Discord server, but it's on really late. I keep getting Megan, join, because it's unhinged. We all spend the entire time trying to make each other choke because like by making dirty jokes and talking about how bendy Jensen's bow legs are. That is literally the entire stream. But my second rewatch is because I'm working on a project. So I plan on rewriting Supernatural, but from Sam's perspective, almost like a hunting journal. Every episode from season 1 to 15.
Nice.
I hate myself for starting it. I'm only on episode 10 and I already have like over 100 pages.
I'm nosing out the window. I'm seeing what's going on.
Like, look, I have a whole folder dedicated to it. So these are all the episodes of Supernatural, and I've finished 3.
Oh god, it's gonna take forever.
It really is.
That's dedication.
I've got notes for up to episode 10. I've
What
color
you need to
coded
do
it.
You need to
I
get
hate
them all written before we get Jared to come to Crossroads, and then you can do a copy and
Yes,
give it to
I'm gonna hand him a copy. I feel like he would like
I mean,
that.
I
And then
gave
Jen,
Ruth a copy of my fanfic, so.
ooh, and I feel like
I
Jen's
want
would
to
be like,
read
where's
your
mine?
fanfic, Caitlin. I want to read
What?
it. I
I'll
want to
order a
read
copy
your
for you. I'll get a copy done. Because
Do it.
obviously, those who know, I cosplayed Rowena and John's daughter. But in the fanfic that I wrote, it's in 1600 Scotland. So I'm like, yeah, John Winchester ain't around by then. So I'm like, I was, I wrote that I was conceived in a summer solstice orgy. And I gave Ruth a copy.
Why not?
And like my character, although I'm like a little baby, and Crowley, Fergus, is like 8 years old. So I'm like, he's jealous of me.
If you imagine how mouthy that child would be, that would be the mouthiest little child ever.
Like, he's jealous because Mama Rowena loves me more, obviously, because his bastard father did what he did to her.
Yeah.
But like, I wrote that she loves how I look up to my big brother.
Oh. I have a couple of OCs that I haven't gotten around to writing into fics. I have a couple of fics, but
So
nothing.
what does OC mean? Just clue me in on that.
Original character.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
okay.
So
I'm just fairly new to all this, so I'm just trying to grasp the lingo.
I have one. So his name's Sebastian. He's actually Kaz's Nephilim child. So basically his story is that Kaz at one point, like way before he met the Winchesters, had like a rebel phase. This was like when he first stopped hunting Nephilims. So he was like, fuck heaven, like basically having like his teenage years for an angel. So he basically accidentally creates a Nephilim, and Seb's the reason he stops like kind of killing Nephilims. He's like, oh, I kind of can't kill them because then I have to kill my own son, kind of thing. And Seb is basically the opposite of Kaz. He's very like rude and like just very rude. And he like one day he turns up at the bunker and Dean's just like, you have a what? He loves Jack though. Jack is his like best friend. Like he is very protective over Jack. Yeah. Like if Dean yells at Jack, he was like, shut your mouth, I will smite you, and I will smite your ass so quickly. So he's very protective over Jack. He's like an asshole with baggage.
Yeah, like my OC. I'm Negan's little saviour. So in the Walking Dead world, Negan and Lucille's daughter. But like, then I watched Supernatural. So I thought, Mary Winchester's already dead by the time I'm... So I'm like, Rowena comes along and I'm like, if her and John had a one-night stand, 9 months later, hello. And then I thought, so
that would
Caitlan
make
McLeod
very perplexed.
And then I'm Princess of Hell as well.
See, my cosplay is based on Daryl Dixon off Walking Dead, and it's his backstory.
Ooh.
And what I think happened to him beforehand, and why he is like he is in the TV show.
Like getting a bath.
Yeah.
You're darling.
Don't like getting a bath.
We like him dirty.
You do.
Leave him alone. We like him dirty.
Yeah, my OC is basically the Empress of Hell. It's kind of like I was just a normal girl before some demons tried to kill my parents and succeed in killing my parents. And just before I could get killed, Crowley comes in and says, "Fuck off," basically.
He's just like, mine. This one's mine.
It's kind of like he senses something. He can sense something different and takes me under his wing, and then I end up becoming the Empress of Hell, and then he...
See, that sounds really cool, because we've seen Crowley be like fatherly towards... Who was it? Who was that little girl? Was it Amara? I always get confused.
Yeah, it was Amara.
Yeah, he was quite like...
Goes,
I know
be careful what you say.
He loved
Oh shit,
her.
yeah, sorry.
Be careful what you say. I know about Amara, and I know about the season finale. I know who Amara is. I don't know what happens, but I just know that he's very fatherly towards her.
Yeah.
I've only watched the through once, Megan, so I'm not quite as quick on catching on stuff. So I'm like
yeah. So with your OC, that kind of makes me your unofficial aunt.
Yeah, I have a couple of OCs. I also have like Ryan Harvell, who's basically he's like the Harvell version of Sam. but the only difference is that he has no quarrel about taking life, and he tried to hunt down the Winchesters after he found out what happened to his sister and mother, because he was at college when it happened. That's why he wasn't in the show. That's like my reasoning.
Nice.
So he's just like, I'm gonna kill you, and they're like, no, don't kill me, and he's like, okay.
Oh,
He just
brilliant.
he also sleeps with Kaz to prove a point.
Oh.
That's weird. Have you wrote a fanfic about it?
I don't think so, but basically,
No,
so he's telling Dean like, yeah, you're bi, because Ryan is very like, no, you're not straight.
Well,
No,
Ryan,
straightness doesn't
I've been
exist.
reading a fanfic, and there's someone called Ricky Harbell, and he's the younger sister, brother even, not sister.
Ooh.
And
He's
I'm
the
like,
older in mine. He's
alright.
He knew what happened to Bill, with the whole John thing, so he's always hated the Winchesters, and like Joe didn't really know him very well because he kind of just left. But he did, like, he was like to Dean, yeah, you're in love with Kaz. He's like, no, I'm not. He's like, okay. And then he's like, okay, Kaz, you've obviously got a boner, come here. They come back with just he was wearing, and then Dean wakes up the next morning, he's wearing Kaz's trench coat. Dean was very jealous.
How did this go from talking about what to bring to a Comic-Con to this?
I mean, this is the Prodigies of Hell. We have gone on more tangents than anyone.
I mean, we've still got the key points out. We've given the information, then we just went on a massive tangent, and I don't even care.
About OCs.
Oh, the viewers will love it. It's
Yeah.
an extra long episode, so they should love it.
It's great. And we
Could
managed
you
to do
imagine
it.
Mark? Could you imagine like Mark tuning in to see me and going, oh bloody hell, not her again.
I would literally have a heart attack if anyone saw this. I'm just like, oh no. Oh no.
I actually think they'd love it. I think Mark and Ruth would love this.
They probably
I tweet
would.
it to them each week anyway, so if they watch it or
Yeah.
not.
I feel like Misha would like just the chaoticness of it all.
Yeah. So usually towards the end of the episodes we do celebrity shout-outs, don't we, Caitlin?
Yeah, so do you two want to go first?
So any celeb, just shout them out. Anything
Anything.
Wait, what was the question? Sorry, I zoomed out.
Celebrity
Celebrity shout-out.
shout-out.
I'm
Okay.
gonna give mine out to Miriam Margolyes actually, because I just finished her amazing book, and it was just chef's kiss.
It's all right. I'll be sending Miriam this anyway, so.
Absolutely love that book, love that woman. She's even more of a hero to me now than she was before. And Miriam, if you see this, please, 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 please write another one.
I've just got her book and I cannot wait to read it. I literally just
It's
got it in my hand.
amazing.
You'll love it.
I can't wait to hear what you think of it, because literally I nearly cried a little. Oh, look how beautiful she is. She's
I
just
know.
gorgeous.
Look how beautiful.
I just love her. I've literally just finished it, and it is my dream to get that book signed if I'm ever lucky enough to meet her. And literally, like, I'll read it over and over. But if I get it signed, it'll go in something and no one will be allowed to breathe on it, touch it, anything. So my shout out is to the beautiful, beautiful Miriam. Hope you're well, and hope you like the letter I sent you.
When she
Yeah.
reads it.
Misha?
Oh, I was like, oh, Misha Collins, and then I remembered my name's Misha. Honestly, I'm trying to debate between two because I love them both so much. Okay, so first one is Nicole Maines, because she is the world's first live action transgender superhero. She is also a trans activist and a trans woman herself. She is absolutely amazing. And she's fucking hilarious too. Amazing actress, absolutely amazing person. And also David Harewood, who is the UK's National Ambassador for Mental Health. He was named in 2018, I believe. He released a book called I Don't Belong Here. It's about his struggle as someone who has mental health, and also as someone who is a person of color, someone who is not black, someone who is not white, with mental health. And he did a whole documentary about
I love you,
on
Billy.
BBC. My brain, okay, it doesn't work.
Fine.
I think my falls out my ear, but he is amazing. Look him up. He is fantastic. Also, his American accent is scarily good.
Caitlin?
Okay, well, everyone knows I want to do Ruth each week, but I can't do Ruth. So
You
give
can
Ruth
do
a
whatever
shout
you
out.
want, darling.
Oh no, I like to vary it. So apart from the obvious Ruth Connell, I'm going to go with Debbie Allen because she's
Fine.
brilliant on Grey's Anatomy as Catherine Fox. She's brilliant as Lydia Grant on Fame, and she's an amazing dancer. And she's actually got her own dance school, Debbie Allen's Dance Academy.
Oh,
And I
wow.
freaking love that woman. So Debbie Allen. We're not winning.
Yes, yes.
I don't know if I've done this wonderful woman before. I'm going to go Kim Rhodes.
Yay!
Mama Kim. Her bad mom advice on TikTok is absolutely hilarious. She's just a wonderful, kind, gentle soul. I just want to give her a big hug and smush her. She's so amazing. I love her. I love her.
She's brilliant on Zack and Cody as well.
Yeah.
If she goes to Crossroads 4, I'm gonna be so upset that I missed
I'm going to
that.
be so happy if she goes to Crossroads 4.
I've got a feeling, Millie, me and you might be sat sulking together.
We're just gonna be talking
on
online like those bitches.
Oh
How
my
dare-
God, those cows, we hate them.
No, Kate.
And then as soon as we talk to them again, oh, we love you guys.
All
So
right.
Caitlin,
Thank you, Amy and
don't we
Misha,
have a
for
guest
coming this
tease?
week. Oh no,
Pardon?
we will. We on our next episode we will have a celebrity guest. We're not saying who. We
We're
will
not gonna
actually
say.
post clues on our social media. So if you're a Wayward Prodigy, keep a lookout because we are so excited.
I know, literally. I'm just like,
I'm
never
excited for
gonna
you, but I'm
sleep
also
again
kind of
now.
jealous, not gonna lie.
I'm going to lose sleep over this. Well, you better plug me in for the next one then, because I want to know who it is.
okay.
We'll be posting
I'm not waiting for
clues.
the episode to be released to see who it is. I want to be in on the Zoom. I need to know.
Okay. We will see if we can
Well,
make that
Thanks for
happen.
tuning in this
I'm just gonna be
guys.
sitting,
this one
like
teases
watching it
you.
jealously, like
Oh,
They're
thank you.
such little guest teasers, aren't they, Millie? They're teasing us.
I know.
Oh.
Or for me to start
Oh,
Thank
already.
you both for coming on this episode.
If you've managed to
Um,
get through this, well done. This is the craziness of the fandom and Comic Con. This is like the craziness that goes on. So
If you're not
yes,
through
thank you
this
for
one,
watching.
level 5 of
Yeah,
Jumanji.
thank you for watching. And this is the Princess of Hell
And the Empress of Hell.
and Amy and Misha.
Proudest bitch.
And the gay ace angel. Hello.
Signing off. Thanks, guys.
Bye guys. Take care.
So,
Bye.
bye.